I'm Chris Wallace of Fox News, and I welcome you to the first of the 2020 presidential debates between President Donald J. Trump and former Vice President Joe Biden.
That's what I'm talking about, though. Like,
for the record, I decided the topics and the questions in each topic. I can assure you, none of the questions has been shared with the commission or the two candidates.
I remember when they announced that Chris Wallace would be the moderator for the debate between Donald Trump and Joe Biden. I was excited about it. I was seriously excited about it because everybody who talked to Joe Biden was like giving him easy questions and not really drilling him and trying to figure out what type of man this is they got in front of them. They never really paid attention to it. They lied. They covered it up and shit, and everybody thought this man was something that he wasn't. It was like the whole emperor has no clothes. You get what I'm saying? It's like everybody's telling this man like, ooh, your clothes look so nice, but then everybody who's sane looking at this man like, dude, you ain't got no clothes on. You need the, they lying to you. There's no such thing as no silk that you can wear that's see-through. And it feels nothing, and you think it's something when it's nothing there. And he's like, "Oh, it's so great, thank you." And they just lied to him so much that he thought he had clothes on. When one little boy walked up to him and said, "Hey, you naked," and that was the end of the story. Joe Biden was fucking naked, and everybody was like, "Yes, those are some nice clothes he got on." And I thought Chris Wallace was gonna get on his ass, but Chris Wallace didn't do shit. Chris Wallace carried this nigga like they was in Vietnam, like that Vietnam meme. I'm gonna try to find that. It was fucking funny. This nigga carried his ass, saved him. Every time Donald Trump was finna get in his ass, Chris Wallace jumped to his goddamn rescue. At one point, they was almost fighting each other.
You have spent the last...
Because they want to give good health care.
If I may ask my question, sir.
Good health care.
Over the last 4 years, you have promised to repeal and replace Obamacare, but you have never in these 4 years come up with a plan, a comprehensive plan to replace Obamacare.
Of course I have.
Well,
I got rid of the individual mandate.
I'm going to give you an opportunity.
I got rid of the...
Okay, so you hear how he talk, right? Does it sound like he's asking a question? It sounds like he's really trying to give his opinion, and it's somewhere in there he will ask a question and stuff like that. But he doesn't like that Trump has an answer to what he got to say, so he don't want to let him talk until he makes it more complicated for him to say it. Look, watch.
The individual mandate, which was a big chunk of Obamacare. That is absolutely a big thing. That was the worst part of Obamacare.
Sir.
Chris, that was the worst part of Obama.
Let me ask my question.
Well, I'll ask Joe. The individual mandate was the most unpopular aspect of Obamacare. I got rid of it.
I'd like you
and we will protect people with
President, I'm the moderator of this
conditions.
debate, and I would like you to let me ask my question, and then you can answer your question.
It was pretty much at this moment that I realized that Chris Wallace was paid and bought. You get what I'm saying? I thought he was something and he wasn't. I actually did the Good Samaritan thing, and I even posted what I felt on Twitter. I really wanted Chris Wallace to do it because I thought he was going to be tough, but I didn't know he was going to do all this to President Trump.
You, in the course of these 4 years, have never come up with a comprehensive plan to replace Obamacare, and just this last Thursday, you signed a largely symbolic executive order to protect people with pre-existing conditions 5 days before this debate. So my question, sir, is what is the Trump health care plan?
Right. Well, first of all, I guess I'm debating you, not him, but that's okay. I'm not surprised. Let me just...
Trump was ready to fight. He had came with all the artillery. He was ready to get in Biden's ass. And Chris Wallace just kept saving Biden. Damn.
Biden wanted to allow people to have private insurance still. They can. They do. They will.
They can. They do. They will.
It's got electrolytes.
under my proposal.
It's not what you've said,
But
and it's not what
that
your
is-
party has said.
that is simply
Your party
a lie.
doesn't say it. Your party
That is
wants to
simple.
go socialist
My
medicine
party is
and
me.
socialist
Right
healthcare.
now, I am
and
the
they're going to
Democratic
dominate
Party.
you, Joe. You know that.
I am the Democratic Party right now. The platform of the
Not according
Democratic
to
Party
Harris.
is what I, in fact, approved of. What I approved of. Now, here's the deal. The deal is that it's going to wipe out pre-existing conditions. And by the way, the 200,000 people that have died on his watch, how many of those have survived?
How many of those have survived?
Well, there's 7 million people that contracted COVID. What does it mean for them going forward if you strike down the Affordable Care Act? And
Joe, you've had
pre-existing
308,000 military people dying because you couldn't provide them proper health care in the military. So don't tell me
I'm
about
happy
this.
to talk about
And
this.
if you were here,
Look,
it
here's
wouldn't
the
be
deal.
200, it would be 2 million people because you were very late on the draw. Because you were very late on the draw. You
Late
didn't
on
want
the
me to
draw.
ban China. You
Late
didn't
on
want
the
me to
draw.
ban China, which was heavily infected. You didn't want me to ban
All right, gentlemen,
Europe, which was heavily
Mr. President,
infected. You would have
Mr.
been much
President,
later, Joe.
Mr. President,
Much later.
Mr.
You're
President,
talking about 2 million people.
You're not gonna be able
President,
to
as
shut
the
him up.
moderator, we are going to talk about COVID.
So you probably wondering, why am I bringing all this up now? Well, I'm bringing it up because Chris Wallace was on a show and he was doing an interview and he was talking about all the promises that Biden made him when he would become president or in the summer or something. He was talking about how he can't get an interview with this person now and how he wish he could ask some questions and get real answers from him and all that. I'm like, man, when you had the chance to get answers from Joe Biden, you told him nothing. You said nothing. You didn't even let Trump get in his ass.
Radical
question-
left.
Would you shut up, man?
Listen, who is on your list, Joe?
This
Who's
is
on your
so
list?
right.
Gentlemen,
This is-
I think
This
we've
is
ended
so
this.
He's gonna pack the
unprecedented.
court.
You just stood there and let it all happen. You are worse than Joe
But it
Biden.
happened. And I asked you, are you in contact with the Biden campaign? You said, we're trying. We'd love to do it. I think he ought to do it. Of course, that never happened. He's now president. They're not giving sit-downs to almost anyone ever. Can you just keep, knocking on the door every week and asking? And, is there any way that you and other colleagues from other networks might start to put some pressure, if it's not you, just someone, to have him face that sort of sustained questioning on a regular basis, which he really hasn't had as president?
No, he hasn't, and there's a reason. There's a reason for everything in politics, and the reason is, obviously, this is a White House that wants to protect this president and doesn't have full confidence in his ability to handle those kinds of intense situations where somebody's going to press him. For the record, I decided the topics and the questions in each topic. I'm a realist enough to know that he has not done, I don't think he's done a single Sunday show since he's become president. I know he's done some interviews with George Stephanopoulos, but I think they were for Good Morning America, and then they would
Well, he had the Afghanistan interview where he said a bunch of things that turned out not so well for him.
And that was not on, it was not on.
Chris Wallace had one job to do. And he know he fucked up. He knows he fucked up, and he let America down. He knows that everything that Biden does right now, all the chaos that is being caused right now, this all falls on Chris Wallace's shoulder. He had one job to do, and he didn't do it. No, he chose to help Biden get in office. Everything that is happening right now is your fault, Chris Wallace. You can't clean it up now. Anyway, bye.